David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, the breaking news just as we come on, a confirmed tornado touching down, severe storms hitting as millions begin traveling for the holiday. Tonight, the images coming in here, that tornado touching down outside Houston. Many homes damaged, trees down tonight, severe storms across multiple states now on the move into the Ohio Valley next and then the Northeast. And tonight, we're now watching a second major storm system set to hit right after Thanksgiving, just as millions travel back. So Ginger Zee is standing by with the forecast. Also breaking tonight, a federal judge tossing out both criminal cases against two of President Trump's biggest political foes. The cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, both thrown out, and the reason why. Tonight, in an extraordinary move, the Pentagon now threatening to court-martial Senator and retired astronaut Mark Kelly after he appeared in that video telling American troops they are allowed to refuse illegal orders. President Trump accusing Kelly of, quote, seditious behavior, punishable by death. Tonight, she was on the run, cutting off her ankle monitor, the young woman who years ago was found guilty of stabbing her classmate 19 times in the woods. Late today, new body camera video just released showing the arrest of the Slender Man attacker, where she was found. Tonight, the cause of death now revealed after that 18-year-old girl's body was carried off a Carnival cruise ship. But authorities have now revealed about her death. With holiday shopping here, the brazen thieves tonight not only stealing off of front porches, but this video tonight going up to a FedEx delivery person and taking the package out of their hands. Authorities tonight saying this is sophisticated. They know the electronics being delivered, and they have the addresses where they're going to. The war in Ukraine tonight, the peace talks, the Thanksgiving deadline, what President Trump is now saying tonight, and what President Zelensky has signaled. Tonight, new heartbreak for the Kennedy family. Caroline Kennedy's daughter, JFK's granddaughter, Tatiana Schlossberg, revealing she is dying from cancer. Tonight, the message, what she has written from that young mother and wife, and why she says she always wanted to protect her mother, Caroline, from more pain. The tributes tonight to legendary singer Jimmy Cliff. How fans are remembering him. And America Strong tonight, the new baby just in time for Thanksgiving. This might just be one of the cutest babies you have ever seen.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Monday night. We do begin tonight with not one, but two major storm systems we're now tracking as millions travel this Thanksgiving. We have now learned a confirmed tornado touching down just outside Houston. Tonight, severe thunderstorms from Texas to Mississippi, the system then moving across the south before pushing through the Ohio Valley and into the Northeast as millions travel for the holiday. Now a second storm system, more powerful, this cross-country storm, it's brewing for right after Thanksgiving as many, of course, travel back home. Meantime, that tornado forming quickly today, visible from the highway in Houston. We've learned more than 100 homes and structures damaged and destroyed, trees down across multiple neighborhoods tonight. Major power outages have been reported. Airports already reporting delays and cancellations across the South, and authorities tonight warning as the system moves, those delays could expand to other cities. Ginger Zee is standing by with the forecast, and Gio Benitez with the images already coming in tonight.
Tonight, a powerful line of storms slamming multiple states in the south.
That's crazy.
Just as the record-breaking holiday travel season kicks off, multiple reports of tornadoes touching down north of Houston.
If you've got loved ones in this part of Harris County, give them a call, check in on them.
In the storm's wake, sheet metal wrapped around utility poles. This home's roof ripped apart. Doug Simmons lives nearby.
Started to hear things pelt the house, and that's when I got concerned and I called my son downstairs.
No injuries reported, but severe weather causing hundreds of delays and cancellations at airports in Houston and Dallas. Across the country, the TSA expects to screen nearly 18 million people in the coming days. Tomorrow and Sunday could be the busiest days for air travel. Today, we went inside the United Airlines Station Operations Center at Newark Airport. They tell me people were eager to fly after the longest government shutdown in history.
Right after the shutdown finished, our bookings increased 15%.
This man on his way to Florida, flying early to avoid potential disruptions.
No delay, and coming in pretty smooth, but it's not Tuesday or Wednesday yet, so that's why I'm flying today.
And David, as you mentioned, there are already delays and cancellations in the south as those storms move east. And of course, there are more delays possible throughout the week, David.
Let's get more on this. Gio Benitez leading us off. Gio, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee with the all-important Thanksgiving week forecast. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. We still have about 90 minutes left in this tornado watch. That includes Houston. It goes up to Lufkin. If you're traveling I-20 between Longview and Shreveport, Louisiana, you've got to watch out. Now, these, just because they aren't going to be tornadoes, could still be severe overnight. Meridian, Mississippi tomorrow, Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, Alabama, also right there in the zone. Heavy rains for I-64 or 75 in the Mid-South. You see Louisville highlighted there. That could impact travel. Speaking of, rain from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia and New York City tomorrow afternoon. It's not going to be anything too heavy, but we'll see snow on the backside of this and a lot of cold air. That's where Minneapolis transitions. Wednesday morning, you start to see it move through Wisconsin, and then the scattered showers are still around the east, but they're pretty spread out. Real quickly, I do have to tell you that the lake effect snow is the big thing on Thursday, and then as we get through the weekend, Saturday, there could be snow in Chicago, and on Sunday, the earlier you leave, if you're traveling I-95, David, the better, because rain moves in from west to east.
Yeah, and that could potentially be even bigger than this first storm system. Ginger Zee, our thanks to you tonight as well. Tonight, a federal judge throwing out both criminal cases against two of President Trump's biggest political foes. The cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James have both been tossed out. And tonight here, the reason why. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas now.
Tonight, a federal judge dismissing the Justice Department's cases against two of President Trump's political enemies, former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, ruling the president's hand-picked prosecutor, who oversaw both cases, had no lawful authority to present the indictments.
I'm grateful that the court ended the case against me, which was a prosecution based on malevolence and incompetence.
James saying, "I remain fearless in the face of these baseless charges as I continue fighting for New Yorkers." Judge Cameron Curry finding the prosecutor Lindsay Halligan was not an attorney authorized by law to conduct grand jury proceedings. Halligan, an insurance lawyer who had never prosecuted a criminal case, was a White House aide when Trump named her acting U.S. attorney to, quote, get things moving, after he publicly urged Attorney General Pam Bondi to go after Comey and James.
We have to act fast.
Halligan took over after Trump forced out her predecessor.
Hi, can you speak on your nomination chat?
Who had determined there was not enough evidence to bring charges against either Comey or James. But today, the judge ruling Halligan's appointment was unlawful because she was replacing another interim U.S. attorney, saying any other decision would mean the government could send any private citizen off the street, attorney or not, into the grand jury room to secure an indictment, so as long as the attorney general gives her approval after the fact. That cannot be the law.
We'll be taking all available legal action, including an immediate appeal.
Comey says the stakes couldn't be higher.
The message has to be sent that the President of the United States cannot use the Department of Justice to target his political enemies. You have to see that as fundamentally un-American and a threat to the rule of law that keeps all of us free.
DOJ vowing to appeal the case, but tonight the judge suggesting that the Justice Department may not be able to pursue the same charges against Comey because the statute of limitations for those charges has run out and the indictment is now void. David?
Pierre Thomas live in Washington. Pierre, thank you. Now to an extraordinary move tonight. The Pentagon now threatening to court-martial Senator and retired astronaut Mark Kelly after he appeared in a video with other Democrats telling American troops they are allowed to refuse illegal orders. Here's Mary Bruce tonight.
Tonight, the Pentagon announcing it's investigating, quote, serious allegations of misconduct against Arizona Senator Mark Kelly for recording a video with 5 other Democratic lawmakers urging military troops not to follow illegal orders.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Kelly, who flew 39 combat missions in Iraq before going on to become an astronaut, now threatened with a court-martial for saying this.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
The president has blasted the lawmakers as traitors, accusing them of seditious behavior punishable by death. He shared another post that said, hang them, George Washington would. Kelly, who is married to former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who was shot in 2011, calling Trump's comments disturbing.
I know a little bit about political violence. My wife, Gabby, was nearly assassinated. She was shot in the head because of political violence. She nearly died.
The White House insists Trump wasn't calling for the lawmakers to be executed, but the president making it clear they should pay.
Well, I think Pete Hegseth is looking into it, too. I know they're looking into it militarily.
And today, Defense Secretary Hegseth acted, calling the video despicable, reckless, and false, adding encouraging our warriors to ignore the orders of their commanders undermines every aspect of good order and discipline. But tonight, Kelly, defiant, posting this picture of the many military medals he's earned, writing, "I've given too much to this country to be silenced by bullies who care more about their own power than protecting the Constitution." Now, Kelly is the only one of the 6 lawmakers to be investigated by the Pentagon because, unlike the other military veterans, Kelly is retired and receiving benefits and still subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. David.
Mary Bruce live at the White House. Mary, thank you. Now to the chilling case that made national headlines, the Slender Man case. Overnight, we learned the young woman who years ago stabbed her classmate 19 times in the woods was on the run after cutting off her ankle bracelet. Late today, new body camera video just released showing her arrest. Here's ABC's Alex Perez tonight.
Morgan. Morgan.
Tonight, new body camera video showing the moment Morgan Geyser, convicted of brutally stabbing her classmate 19 times as she tried to crawl away in the woods in the infamous Slender Man case, was arrested after escaping from a group home in Wisconsin.
She seemed very nervous. She simply told the officer, "Here's my real name. You can Google me and you'll find out who I am."
Police say Geyser cut off her ankle monitoring bracelet on Saturday before fleeing on a bus with a 42-year-old friend she met at church. Officers tracking them to a truck stop about 165 miles away near Chicago, where they were sleeping on the ground.
I don't want to give you my name.
At first, refusing to give her real name.
I did something really wrong.
Morgan Geyser was convicted with her friend Anissa Wire of luring Peyton Leitner into the woods in 2014, stabbing her 19 times. They said they did it to please the fictional online character Slender Man. Geyser was sentenced to 40 years in a mental institution, but was recently allowed to move into a group home. In 2019, Peyton told David she didn't fear her attackers being released.
Do you fear for the day that either one of them is back out in the community?
No, because if they ever come near me, they're going right back in. So
you don't walk around with that?
No. When they get out, I don't think it's going to change my life at all.
And David, Peyton's family says they are safe and working with authorities to remain safe. David?
Alex Perez with us tonight. Alex, thank you. This evening, the cause of death now revealed in the case of that 18-year-old girl whose body was carried off a Carnival cruise ship. Authorities say she died of mechanical asphyxiation. Court filings indicate a step-sibling could be under scrutiny. ABC's Victor Akendo interviewing the grandparents who were also on that cruise ship.
Tonight, more than 2 weeks after the body of Anna Kepner was found in her cabin aboard a Carnival cruise, her death ruled a homicide. Authorities now say the 18-year-old was mechanically asphyxiated by another person or persons. It comes as Anna's grandparents are speaking out about their heartbreaking loss in an exclusive interview with ABC News. They were on the ship with their granddaughter.
I just screamed. I couldn't stop screaming.
Barbara and Jeffrey Kepner were with their son, his wife, and their grandchildren when a housekeeper discovered Anna in the cabin she was sharing with her brother and stepbrother. In an unrelated custody dispute filing, Anna's stepmother has called Anna's stepbrother a suspect in Anna's death.
Do you think he had anything to do with Anna's death?
He was the only one seen coming and going, so I can't accuse him because I don't know what happened in that room, but the summation would be that he did something.
Anna's grandmother says she sat in for part of the stepbrother's interview with the FBI.
He was an emotional mess. He couldn't even speak. He couldn't believe what had happened.
The grandparents say Anna and her stepbrother were close.
He was a good student.
Played soccer.
He played soccer, very quiet young man. He had demons, I think, in his past, and he was trying to deal with those.
David, the grandparents tell me Anna and her stepbrother got along well. Anna was a straight-A student. She wanted to join the Navy after high school. We're still waiting for the official toxicology and autopsy reports to be released. David?
Victor Akendo on this case again tonight. Thank you, Victor. President Trump tonight signaling possible progress in ending the war in Ukraine. The president saying now, quote, something good just may be happening, following talks between Ukraine, the U.S., and the EU. President Zelensky tonight signaling the original 28-point U.S. plan has been slimmed down. Sources telling ABC News there will no longer be a strict limit on the Ukrainian army, and the proposal for Ukraine to give up land to Russia will be addressed when Zelensky talks to President Trump. Russia says it will have to review the plan again. Tonight here, the new heartbreak for the Kennedy family. Caroline Kennedy's daughter, JFK's granddaughter, Tatiana Schlossberg, revealing she is dying from cancer, a rare form of leukemia. Tonight here, the moving words from the young mother and wife, and why she says she always wanted to protect her mother, Caroline, from more pain. Here's Rhiannon Alley.
Tonight, Caroline Kennedy's daughter revealing heartbreak has hit the Kennedy family again. In her own devastating words, Tatiana Schlossberg, an environmental journalist, wife, and mother, writing that she is dying of a rare form of leukemia. Schlossberg is just 35. Writing in The New Yorker, my first thought was that this couldn't be happening to me, to my family. Grappling with her own mother, Caroline Kennedy's unimaginable pain during a lifetime of challenge. Caroline's father, President John F. Kennedy, assassinated when Caroline was just 5 years old. 5 years later, her uncle, Robert F. Kennedy, assassinated too. And then Caroline's younger brother, JFK Jr., along with his wife, Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, killed in 1999 when the small plane JFK was piloting crashed in foggy weather off Martha's Vineyard. For my whole life, Schlossberg writes, I have tried to be good, to be a good student and a good sister and a good daughter, and to protect my mother and never make her upset or angry. Now I've added a new tragedy to her life, to our family's life, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. As the 35-year-old now works through her own heartbreak, a young mother herself, 2 young children, she writes, my son might have a few memories, but of her daughter, I don't know who really she thinks I am and whether she will feel or remember when I am gone that I am her mother. David, Tatiana said her sister Rose and her brother Jack both tried to be donors, thanking her husband George and the rest of her family for being by her side and for coming together to raise her children. David?
Her incredibly brave words. So many people reading those words this weekend. Rhiannon, thank you. When we come back here with holiday shopping now here, authorities tonight on this newest scam, the brazen thieves. Take a look at this, not only stealing off of front porches, but now right from the hands of a FedEx delivery person. Apparently these thieves know the electronics they're stealing and they know the addresses. That's why they're showing up. We'll have more in just a moment. Also, the urgent search for a high school football coach, an undefeated season. He's now been missing for days. The active investigation underway tonight. And the new baby just in time for Thanksgiving. Look at this. This just might be one of the cutest babies you have ever seen. The message they have just sent in tonight from this American zoo. And you have to see this in a moment. Tonight on Long Island, the thieves caught stealing deliveries, approaching a FedEx delivery man in broad daylight, ripping a package from his hands. Officials say at least 14 people were part of a sophisticated network of thefts on Long Island. The group has been stealing electronics, they say, some of those electronics sent to these homes by the thieves, who then intercepted the packages. Tonight, the active search for a high school football coach in Wise County, Virginia. Travis Turner was last seen Thursday. Police using drones to try to find him. Turner, a coach at Union High School for 11 years. Currently in an undefeated season. No official word on what led to his disappearance. When we come back here tonight, remembering legendary singer Jimmy Cliff. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. And that new baby just in time for Thanksgiving in a moment. Tonight, celebrating reggae legend Jimmy Cliff.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Tonight, his family sang the singer has died following a battle with pneumonia. His signature sound helped propel reggae to a global audience. Jimmy Cliff was 81. When we come back here tonight, the newborn who just arrived for Thanksgiving, but there's one very big question that remains tonight. Finally tonight here, the new baby that's arrived just in time for Thanksgiving. America Strong. Tonight in Knoxville, Tennessee, the newest member of Zoo Knoxville, making everyone smile. That zoo welcoming a western lowland gorilla, the firstborn there in nearly a decade. That's Mom Comey, 27 years old, cuddling her newborn, a baby sleeping in its mother's arms. Knoxville Zoo is part of the Gorilla Species Survival Program, telling us each gorilla birth brings new hope for the future of this critically endangered species. And tonight, the milestones, the baby already opening its eyes, learning to lift its head, and introduced to the other gorillas. Dad Bantu, a silverback, keeping his distance, but with a watchful eye on that newborn. And right here tonight,
hi, David.
Caitlin Miller, the great apes keeper at Zoo Knoxville.
We are trying to be hands-off as much as we can. So we are letting Comey do her job by being the great mom that she is.
Tonight, the zoo telling us the baby does not have a name yet. First, they want to learn, is it a boy or a girl? That newborn will start crawling in the next few weeks. It will be a happy Thanksgiving in Knoxville. Mother and baby doing well, and our thanks to that team. I'm David Muir. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night. From all of us, good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the third year in a row.